Today we are solving multiple choice question for extended paper 2, which is and or MG 2023 paper code 21. Let's start with the first question. The diagram shows the result of dropping a purple crystal into water. So this is purple crystal dropped into water, and after 5 hours the entire solution becomes purple. Which processes takes place in this? Now the first option is chemical reaction. No, it's not a chemical reaction. It is just forming a mixture. So it is not a chemical reaction. Either C or D will be my answer. Then diffusion, dissolving. Yes, both processes are taking place. They start dissolving as the molecules strike each other, and gradually it's diffused into the entire solution. The diffusion and dissolving both are happening. So D is my correct answer. Coming to the second question. Which row about the element, mixture and compound is correct? Metallic element. Brass is an alloy. So B and D cannot be my option. Copper is a metal. The non-metallic element, methane is a compound. CH4, it's a compound. Then we have sulfur and again methane. So A and D cannot be my answer. Mixture, yes, brass is a mixture. So here sulfur, here copper, here brass. Compound, as I already told, sulfur is a non-metallic element, methane is a compound. So all four are correct for C. For second question, C is the correct option. Third question, the atomic structure of four particles W, X, Y and Z are shown. Then the electron, protons and neutrons are given for all the four Which particles are isotopes of the same element? Isotopes means they should have same atomic number. An atomic number is actually equal to the number of protons, and they should have different atomic mass. Different atomic mass. Relative atomic mass should be different, and atomic mass is the sum of neutron plus protons. So if I go for number of protons, this is same for W and Y, and different atomic number for neutron and protons. If I add 3 plus 2, that is 5 for Y, and 2 plus 2, that is 4 for W. So they satisfy both of the conditions. So I can say B is my answer. Moving to the next question. Which statement explain why isotopes of the same element have same chemical properties? Chemical properties depends upon the number of valence electrons. So if any element have same number of valence electrons, they will have same chemical properties. And valence electrons are the electrons which are present in outer shell. Therefore, we will choose they have same number of outer shell electrons. The correct. Now the next question says nitrogen forms a nitride ion with the formula N-3. Which particle does not have the same electronic configuration as nitride? Ensure it is written does not have. N3- nitrogen, the atomic number is 7, and due to -3 charge, that means 3 more electrons, so 7 plus 3, that is total 10 electrons. Now if you count electrons for the rest of the options given, aluminium 13 plus 3, that means it has lost 3 electrons, so -3, that is 10. Chlorine, atomic number 17, -1, that means has gained 1 electron, total number of electrons becomes 8. Sodium, 11 electron plus charge, that means it has lost 1 electron, so 11 minus 1, 10 electrons. Oxygen, atomic number 8, has -2 charge, that means it has gained 2 electrons, so that is 10 electrons. So D, C and A all have 10 electrons similar to N3-, and that means B is the correct option, which does not have the same number of electrons, and hence it will not be having the same electronic configuration. The sixth question. Which row describes the formation of single covalent bond? Single covalent bond. So covalent bond means that there should be sharing. So atom share a pair of electron, atom share a either A or B will be my answer. Transfer of electron never takes place in covalent bonding. Then both atom gains a noble gas electronic configuration. Both atoms have the same number of electron in their outer shell. So the purpose of forming a bond is to acquire the noble gas configuration. So this statement is correct. I'll choose this and this. Therefore, A is the correct option. Question number 7. Which formula is an empirical formula? So here, if you see empirical formula which provides you the simplest ratio between all the elements which are present in a molecule. So if you see, this doesn't provide you the simplest ratio, neither this. So these two I cannot choose. If you go for the A and B, here you can see 4, 8 and 2. So this is not the simplest formula. The simplest formula for this can be C2H4O. So which we get here as A. This cannot be further simplified. So this is the empirical. 8th question. Heating iron sulfide FeS2 in air produces sulfur dioxide. The equation is given. What is the maximum mass of sulfur dioxide produced from 120 kg of iron sulfide? So we have to calculate the relative molecular mass of iron sulfide. Mr for iron sulfide. So iron is 56 and sulfur 32 and 2 sulfur atoms. So that's why 32 multiplied by 2. This will come out as 120, which is equal to 1 mole. So 120 kg, that means we have 1 mole of FeS2. Now the ratio which comes from this equation, that if you have 4 mole of FeS2, you will get 8 moles of sulfur dioxide. Or I can say if you have 1 mole of FeS2, you will get 2 moles of sulfur dioxide. So simplifying the ratio. So whatever amount of iron sulfide taken, the double amount of sulfur dioxide will be produced. So here from 120 kg, that is equivalent to your 1 mole. So you will get double amount of sulfur dioxide, that is 2 moles. So 2 moles means we have to calculate the molecular mass of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur 32 and oxygen 16 into 2, that is 32. So total is 64, and this is the value for 1 mole of sulfur dioxide, as we will be getting 2 moles. So 64 multiplied by 2, 128. So the answer will be A. Question 9 says, which substance produces hydrogen and bromine when electrolyzed? From the rules of the electrolyze, the cathode contains either the metal or the hydrogen. If the metal is more reactive and placed above in the reactivity series, only then we get hydrogen gas on cathode. So if we see option A, here we have copper, which is less reactive than hydrogen, so this cannot be an option. After that, we have sodium, potassium and lead. Now coming to these two, we need bromine on the anode. So on the positive electrode, we need bromine. Okay, so here we have hydrogen and here we have bromine. Now in case of anodes, the halogen we will only get if the solution is concentrated. So the one option is here, we get concentrated sodium bromide. As sodium is more reactive, hydrogen gas will be released on cathode. As the solution is concentrated, we will get bromide. So B is my correct option. In molten state, obviously there is no option of hydrogen gas being produced. We directly get lead and bromine gas on cathode and anode respectively. Coming to the 10th question, which statement about hydrogen fuel cell are correct? Water is formed as the only waste product. Yes, that is correct. Hydrogen and oxygen combine together, forming water and release energy. So this is correct. Both water and carbon dioxide is formed as strong. The overall reaction is 2H2 plus O2, giving you 2H2O. This is correct. It's the reaction. The overall reaction is endothermic. No, this is an exothermic reaction. It releases energy which can be used from the cell for various purposes. So first and third are correct. So A is the correct option for 10. Moving to the 11th one, ethane gas C2H4 is completely burned in excess of oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. The aqueous equation for this exothermic reaction is shown. The table shows the bond energies involved in the reaction. What is the total energy change reaction? So from the reaction we know C2H4, if you see this is going to be your structure C2H4, that means you 1 CC bond is there plus the energy of 4 CH bonds. That gives you the energy for the C2H4 molecule. And then you have O2, which is O double bond O, and such kind of 3 molecules. That means the total energy of this multiplied by 3. So this will give you total energy of reactant. So if we calculate this, C double bond 6, that is C14 plus CH bond energy 413 multiplied by 4. This total will come out as 1652. 6152 plus 614. So this will come out as 2 plus for oxygen. Each oxygen molecule will have 1 into 3. So oxygen energy is given 495 multiplied by 3. 495 multiplied by 3. This is 188. Now 2266 plus 185. This will give you energy for the reactant, and that will come out as 75. Now for calculating energy of the product, CO2 molecule, each CO2 molecule have 2 CO bonds. We have 2 CO2 molecule, that means total 4 CO bond, and plus H2O, each H2O have 2 OH bonds. We have 2 H2O, that means 4 OH bonds. So whatever energy for you, that is 7, that multiplied by 4 plus energy of the OH bond 467 multiplied by 4. The total of this will be come out as 5064. This will be the energy of product. To calculate the changes in energy of react minus the product, or this will come out as 3751 minus 5064. Answer will come out as minus 13. Answer for the question. Then for the next question. Which root describes the effect on the activation energy and the frequency of the particle collision when the temperature of a chemical reaction is increased? When you increase the temperature, obviously the activation energy increases for each molecule. So this can be the answer. Frequency of collision also increases. A is the correct. Next question. Solid copper 2 sulfate exists in two different anhydrous and titrated. One of these forms is blue and the other is white. The change between these two forms is reversible. So blue form changes to white form. What is the blue form and how is the change from the blue form to white form brought also? Blue form is always the hydrated form. The hydrated form of salts are always colored. So blue form is due to hydrated form CuSO4.5H2. Because of this 5H2, the blue color is there. And when we heat it, Due to this heat, the water molecules escape away minus 5H2O, and you get the white form, which is the anhydrous form, which is only CuSO. So blue form is hydrated form, and by heating it we get the anhydrous form. So I'll select this one. D is the correct. Moving to the next question. Sodium ion Na plus and oxygen O2 minus combine with the chromium ion to form a salt. The salt sodium dichromate has the formula Na2Cr2O7. What is the oxidation state of chromium in this salt? So Na2Cr2O7. How to calculate the oxidation state? Let the oxidation state of Cr is X. Now it is a molecule, so the total sum of the oxidation state of all the elements present over here should be 0. As we have 2 chromium, we will take it as 2x. So this 2x plus oxygen, the common oxidation state is minus 2. As we have 7 atoms, so into 7 plus Na, the common oxidation state is 1. As we have 2 atoms, so 1 multiplied by 2. So 2 plus 2x plus minus 14, this should be equal to 0. From here, if you calculate the value of x, this will come out as plus 6. So C is my correct option. Moving to the next question. The concentration of hydrogen ion in 100 centimeter cube of 0.1 mole decimeter cube hydrochloric acid is higher than the concentration of hydrogen ion in 100 centimeter cube of 0.1 mole per decimeter cube ethanoic acid. Which statement explains the difference in the hydrogen ion concentration? Difference in the hydrogen ion concentration is due to ethanoic acid is a weaker acid and hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. So ethanoic acid is an organic acid, that is correct, but does not define the concentration. Ethanoic acid has a lower pH than the hydrochloric acid. No. If the hydrogen ions are low, the pH should be high. So this is not the correct answer. Ethanoic acid is partially dissociated. Yes, that is the correct answer because it is a weak acid. It does not dissociate completely. It will dissociate partially, and that is why it has low HI. So C is my correct option. Ethanoic acid is not as strong. Moving to the next question. Which oxide is classified as amphoteric? Amphoteric oxides are the oxides which reacts with both or which can act as both acids and base. In presence of strong base, they act as acid. In presence of strong acid, they act as base. The most common example is aluminium oxide, zinc oxide, and chromium oxide. So here the option is aluminium oxide. Coming to the next question. Which method produces the salt copper carbonate? Copper oxide to water, then add excess sodium carbonate, filter off the precipitate. Copper oxide will not be dissoluble, that's why option is correct. Add copper oxide to dilute sulfuric acid and then add excess of aqueous sodium carbonate and filter off the precipitate. Yeah, this can be possible. Add copper to dilute hydrochloric acid and then add sodium carbonate. No, this cannot be possible. Add copper oxide to excess of sodium carbonate and filter off the precipitate. Not at all possible if both are stable. So B is my correct option. When we add copper into sulfuric acid, it gets dissolved, and when we add sodium carbonate, sodium will displace copper from copper sulfate, being more reactive and result into the formation of sodium sulfate and copper carbonate. B is the correct option. 18th, which statement about the trend across the period of the periodic table are correct? Aluminium is more metallic than sodium. No, when we move from left to right, the metallic property is. Beryllium is more metallic than carbon. Yes, that can be correct because beryllium falls left to the carbon. Boron is more metallic than lithium. Boron is more metallic than lithium. No. Magnesium is more metallic than silicon. Yes. So 2 and 4 are correct. C is the option. Moving to the next question. Some information about elements in group 2 in the periodic table is shown. So these are the elements of the group 2 and these are the properties given. Time taken to make 100 centimeter cube of hydrogen gas when 1 gram of metal is added to cold water. So this represents how reactive the metal is. Density of the metal is given and melting point. Which row shows the correct trend in reactivity, density and melting point of the element going down group 2 of the periodic table? So if we see the reactivity, barium has taken the least time, 10 seconds, to produce the same amount of gas. That's why we can say that the reactivity increases down. If we go for the density, it decreases for the 2 and then further started increasing. So the trend is not clear. If we go for the melting point also decreases, then increases, then decreases, and then decreases. So there is no clear trend. So I can say D is the correct option. Reactivity increases down the group while the density and melting point have no clear trend. Next question. A new compound, oxfordium, represented as OX, was discovered with the following property. Solubility, it is insoluble in water. Electrical conduction, does not conduct electricity. Formula is OX2. Bonding in a molecule is OX triple bond OX. In which group of the periodic would the new be placed? So if it should be group 3, it should conduct electricity. As it is not conducting electricity, group cannot. Then it is insoluble in water and the formula is OX2 type. Now OX2 is something which can be formed by 7th also and 5th also. 8th is not possible, that is gas. Now there is triple bond OX, triple bond OX, which is similar to N2 molecule and triple bond N. So same kind of bonding is happening. That means it has 5 electrons in the outer shell similar to nitrogen, and nitrogen belongs to group 5. That's why the answer for this also be group